Hello children, today we will learn the chapter Healthcare Services in India. So, in a democracy, the government has to work for the well-being of the people. Now, for the well-being of the people, education is important, health is of course very important. So the government has to give special attention to healthcare services. Government has to develop new schemes, new plans, new hospitals, develop the plans, implement them. Developing the making the plan is not important, implementing is important, and then monitoring it is also very important. Monitoring as in from time to time seeing is it being implemented properly, is there any shortcoming, right? Always a follow up is needed, always monitoring is needed, so that we ensure the best quality, the best quality, you know, at all times. To ensure the best quality at all times, monitoring is important. Now health means we have to be physically fit, mentally fit, socially fit means we should not harm the society, right? The thieves, they are not socially fit for the society, they are not at all socially fit for the society, they are socially not fit for the society. If I talk of say an eve teaser, a terrorist, these people are not socially fit for the society, we cannot consider them healthy. So healthy means you have to be physically fit, you have to be psychologically fit, you have to be mentally fit, you have to be socially fit, you should fit in the society, you should not harm the society. Now to remain healthy, of course we need good diet, balanced diet, we need hygienic conditions around. These days we are wearing masks because we do not have hygienic conditions around, right? The air might it's you know if someone sneezes, then we might through droplets we might take in the virus. So the surroundings have to be very very clean, we should have proper food, we should have adequate water. Now people should have pollution free environment, people are suffering from lung related problems, and those problems are becoming acute day by day because of pollution around. And of course we need to live a life free of anxiety, free of tension. For that you need to perform yoga, and you need to be carefree about life, right? There are things which are beyond our control, so we need to live a carefree life. So healthy means being mentally, physically, socially fit, psychologically fit, and for that we need to have clean drinking water, we need to have adequate food, hygienic environment around, and besides that we need to have a stress free life and pollution free environment. Now we need to have proper laboratories where checkups can be done, blood test, blood bank should be there if anyone needs blood, latest equipment should always be there, qualified doctors should be there, nurses should be there. And if I talk of India, India has progressed in all these arenas. India has the largest number of medical institutions in the world, and every year so many students, approximately 15,000 medical experts pass out from these colleges. And then India has actually progressed in the field of medicine. There are people from other countries who come to India, they are called medical tourists. What are they called? They are called medical tourists. So medical tourism has risen in India. Then India has increased number of healthcare facilities. Then India is the fourth largest manufacturer of these medicines and the leading exporter of these medicines. Pharmaceutical companies are there in India which produce medicines. However, still in India people die from tuberculosis, malaria. This is very very saddening. Then in rural areas the facilities are not up to the mark, they are appallingly low. They're appallingly low means the facilities are really not up to the mark. Then in India, children suffer from malnourishment, children die because of diarrhea, that is just lack of water. And then the experts, who qualify from the Indian colleges, they go to other countries rather than serving our own country. This concept is called brain drain. They should serve our country rather than moving to USA or any other country for better lifestyle. Now here there is a case study given. about Mukunda Bala. Now he was ill. He went to one hospital. The hospital said that he did not have the facility. He went to the other hospital where it said that they did not have vacant bed, while it was an emergency case. Supreme Court has stated that no hospital can refuse to admit a patient in case of emergency. Then this was published in the newspaper. Finally, Calcutta National Medical College admitted him on the fifth day. So imagine, the hospitals here, there are not enough beds as per the population. Then they refuse, they do not understand the responsibilities. There are certain there are certain hospitals which do not have all the medical facilities. So monitoring is required so that they all can be upgraded, the number of beds can be increased. Then there is lot of difference between the private hospitals and the government hospitals. The private hospitals, they charge lot of money and they give first class service. Government hospitals, they charge very less money. The doctors do not reach on time, and then there are so many queue, I mean there's such long queue there are, it is very very crowded and very very unhygienic. There is a case study given about two friends, Shirish and Raghu. Now Shirish, he went to the hospital where there was melodious music, it was very very hygienic, and there was no crowd, and the doctors were very very friendly. While Raghu, he belongs to a he belongs to a comparatively relatively weaker section, means socially he is from the weaker background in comparison to Shirish. And when he went, there was a long queue, there were so many people were pushing each other, and the conditions were unhygienic, which made him feel all the more sick. Shirish, his treatment was very very expensive. It cost him approximately rupees 4,000, while Raghu, it cost him just rupees 150. So there is a lot of difference between the private services and the public services in India. Then if I talk of public health services, they are not enough in the rural areas, as I discussed. There are primary health centers in the rural areas. See, health centers are also of three types: PHC, primary health center, then secondary health center, then tertiary health center. We have three kinds of health centers. One is primary health center, second is secondary health center, and the third is tertiary health center. Primary health center does not perform any surgery or anything. Secondary, they have sophisticated equipments to perform little surgery, and tertiary, they are well equipped. In villages, we still have just primary health centers, and that too are not enough. There are certain hospitals in the districts. Camps are organized from time to time, and polio vaccine and hepatitis vaccine are given. However, the healthcare services are not up to the mark. There are only primary healthcare services, PHCs, and that too not as per the population. Right to life is the right of every citizen. We have the right to live, we have the right to be cured, and for that it is necessary that there should be proper hospitals, and the hospitals should not charge such hefty amounts. Right, the government should also keep a check on them, and the government hospitals should improve, and they should be enough as per the population. They should not be say insufficient in comparison to the population. In private hospitals, we have registered medical practitioners, means the doctors who have become the doctors, who have become the nurses, they are registered. These are the registered medical practitioners who are there, but then they charge lot of money, and hence there is, we can say, there is a health inequality, where the rich are able to afford healthcare services and the poor are not able to afford. I have discussed this in the previous chapter also, that due to economic inequality, most of the inequalities are there. So we have to overcome this economic inequality, and for that education is the key. Besides that, in the previous chapter also we have discussed that the government has come up with National Rural Health Mission to provide services in the rural areas, we have discussed this. The rural people should get access at cheap rates, so that they don't have to borrow money from the money lenders, so that they do not push themselves into debt trap just to get themselves cured. They do not push themselves into debt trap, and due to debt trap, due to a sailing of so much of tension, the health automatically deteriorates. Because to remain healthy, we have to remain carefree. If we take debt, we cannot remain carefree. Women's health in India is very very poor. This also we have discussed in gender discrimination, that if a family has to make a choice between the male and the female, then they prefer to send males to school, give them proper diet. So all this has to be covered. And then this is economic inequality leads to gender inequality also, since they cannot afford both the children, the boy and the girl, so they give more preference to boy. And rest, of course, it's the outlook which is not up to the mark. The outlook is wrong, the vision is wrong. So it's necessary that we curb all the inequalities to make India developed. Here there is an example given, there's an approach given, the Costa Rican approach. I really like this approach. The Costa Rican approach is about South Africa. Sorry, it's about South America. The Costa Rican approach, it is about South America, where there's a there's a country, Costa Rica in South America, and that country, it dismantled its army, it dissolved its army, and now it spent all that amount in healthcare services, in education, in nutrition, in water, in sanitation, and it is one of the healthiest countries in the world. So it is necessary that the government takes steps. The private should not charge such hefty amounts. They should not take undue advantage of the people. And with this, I wind up the chapter, and I request all of you to take very good care of your health. Keep your surroundings clean, keep yourselves safe. Thank you, and have a great day ahead.